خب ما در شهر شکسپیر هستیم. این پول کچلام هم دوره‌ایامونن. من فکر میکنم چه خوشگلایی با من ببینن که چه زیبارویانی واقعا. Hi there. I'm taking a record of all of you. بله. Stratford upon Avon. شهر رو آقای شکسپیر. الحمدلله یه قیافه قابل توجه هم در گروه پیدا نمیشید. So where is the house? Oh, is that one? خونهش خونه شکسپیر. داخل I'm trying to give explanation to the people later. اینجا قسمتی از موزه آقای شکسپیر و تراست شکسپیر هست، یعنی بنیادی که برای شکسپیر درست کردن. و اینا یعنی چی خودش بماند. خونه زندگی اون موقع مردمه. چیزی از شما ازش نمیفهمی. خب بس خب اینجا خونه قدیمی شکسپیر. جالبه تو بگم که توالت همون نداره. رد قدیم بدن توی باغ میریدن. ببخشید خدا با این خوشگلایی که ما آمدیم دوره دق میکنیم خیلی. این خونه شکسپیر از بیرونه. خونه قدیمی هست. امروز ما سرما و یخ زدیم. اینقدر سرده که باورتون نمیشه. زیر صفر با اینکه هوا هست. اونم باغ و خونه قدیمی که توش بودیم. ما ایزه عکس برداری ندادن. این شهر استراتفورد ده. البته ده استراتفورد صحیح تر بگیر. ده استراتفورد. نوایسه چند تا عکس بگیرم فعلا. نه موزه شکسپیری که روبرومونه. ساختمان مسخره بتونی احمقانه رو نمیدونم چرا اینجا ساختن. ها؟ سرمای عجیب غریبی ها. باورتون نمیشه. یخ زدیم. اون که مثلا خیلی سرش آفتاب هست. اتوبوس مسخره ما که اونجاست و
The old English word for crossing, and Afon, the old Celtic word for river. So it's simply street crossing the river. There is evidence of Roman occupation here, of course, and Saxons, but it was in 1196 that the bishops of Worcester laid out the street plan that we're travelling through today. 1196. That is when the town was laid out, designed. The Bishop of Worcester in the 12th century. You'll see the river in a minute. And he laid out the town with 3 streets going east-west. 12th century, that's for sure. Coming past here at the leisure centre on your left, and what was originally the Hilton Hotel when it was built on the left here, it's now the Holiday Inn. And if you look straight ahead, you can see the Bancroft Gardens where we make this turn, and the lovely Gower Memorial statue. This bronze statue was cast for the Paris exhibition of 1882, and they represent the histories, the philosophies, the tragedies and the comedies. That's the Gower Memorial statue. Now we're turning left, but if you look ahead, that's Bridge Street going up into the centre of the town, and that was the approach from the south. Everybody came across the bridge here from the south: London, Oxford, Banbury and Stratford. Now as we drive along here, if you look on the walk on your left hand side, you'll see some very antique lampposts. These are all gifted to the town by various towns and cities throughout the world, for people who are entitled to march in the annual Shakespeare procession. As you come along here by the fountain commemorating Stratford, it being 800 years being a market town, I expect it's frozen up today, but it has 8 jets, one for each century of it being a market town, and it was built in 1996 on your left. Just past the fountain you'll see the very ornate lamppost from Israel with the fiddler on the roof, the wise owl on the top and the donkey. That's very ornate. Oh, the fountain is working, that's good. If you can pull in here for a second or two, that's fine. Now on your left you see the Bancroft Gardens and the canal basin there, and it was in the 1816 that the canals. The hotel on your right, this land was once owned by John Shakespeare. As we said earlier, he was quite comfortable, he became fairly wealthy. But coming up on your right hand side is our most famous pub. I want you to look at the sign particularly as we go slowly by. You'll see that just along the holly tree here, it's called the Dirty Duck. But as we go past it, if you look on the reverse side, the Dirty Duck actually becomes the on your left opposite Horsecroft. That would be perfect. You see use of the timber framing here. The house on your right there, that's stuccoed on the front, but if you look at the end there, it's a box timber framed house. All these properties are 15th or 16th century, but this would be perfect. Now on your right is one of the finest examples of a 16th century Tudor house, evidence of a wealthy gentleman's Tudor home. It's perfect. Now if you could cross over the road opposite and pull up in front of a new place, that would be super. Where the van's turning now, if you can settle on the right hand side there. Next to the almshouses here on the right is the Guild Hall and Chapel, which was part of the grammar school where William Shakespeare was educated. And here is the Guild Chapel, and that's where the bishops of Worcester resided in the 13th century, and when one of them left Stratford here to become Archbishop of Canterbury. So the religious connection in Stratford was very well associated. Now we're pulling up here to look at this lovely garden, because this garden is all that remains of William Shakespeare's retirement home. William had left his family in Stratford and went to London, where you know he established himself at the Rose Theatre, and then more famously at the Globe Theatre. But he retired. If you pull up where the little boy is there, in front of where the sunshine starts, in front of Harvard, that would be splendid. On your left you have our 15th century Pizza Hut. It was once the home of the mayor of the town. This is super. Now also on your left you have our two most decorative timber framed houses. First you have the Garrick Inn, which dates from 1596. It was a box timber frame building. The little ornate circles were added in the 18th century to decorate it. But it's a typical example of the timber framing. But next to it is Harvard House, probably the most exquisitely designed house in Stratford, with lots of flora and fauna, allegorical figures, signatures, names, and even the date 1596. And this was the home of Catherine Rogers, who was the mother of John Harvard, benefactor to the university in America that bears his name. He did not found the university, as it claims on the door there, which is a bit of an embarrassment, especially when Americans point it out. All he did was give his library, which in fact was 1,500 books. It's now at Crabtree and Evelyn. This is where Judith Shakespeare, William's youngest daughter, lived, with her husband Thomas Quiney. He was a wine merchant and a vintner. But the records suggest he might well have drunk most of his own merchandise, because he spent an awful lot of time in the arms of the law for drunkenness. On your left-hand side, Barclays Bank today was built in 1881 as the Butter Market. And to the left, you see we're looking up Henley Street, past the birthplace. If you look to the right, you're looking down towards the river, and on the left there is Marks and Spencer's, Britain's most famous store, and Stratford has a very nice branch there. I need to turn left again now up Guild Street and past the rear of the birthplace. You'll get a good view. Travelling up again, you see the lovely cedar of Lebanon tree standing in the gardens of William Shakespeare's birthplace that we walk through, and you get a very good view from the coach here of the rear of the property and that extension. It's a funny angle to the building, which was added in 1605, as I said earlier, the kitchen area. Long after the Shakespeares have left, the property became a butcher's shop at one end. Pub signs were hanging in the birthplace, if you happen to spot them as we walk through. So we're hanging left again, and we're heading past towards the marketplace. There are no descendants of William Shakespeare alive today, anywhere. You'll hear why in a moment. So here we are, passing the coach park again. This is where we shall return. Thatch there, because it's the name of the inn and it's traditional. But that inn, that roof is ornamental. It has a proper roof underneath, but don't tell them I told you. Now as we cross Cattle Market, because Rother refers to horned and hoofed animals. And the fountain on your left, that lovely ornamental fountain, we call the American fountain because it was presented by George Washington Childs as a gift to commemorate the Golden Jubilee of Queen Victoria. You'll see the American eagle on two corners and the British lion on the others. So we're following on through Rother Market, and if we can stop just past the pink cottage on the left there for a pause for a moment, Brian, that would be fine. Now on your right hand side is my favourite property here in Stratford. This is called Mason's Court. That's lovely here. And there you see a classic example of a timber frame building. It would have had a thatched roof, of course. It's got parts of Broomcote stone, some 16th century brickwork. It's got wattle and daub. But the most important thing is that passage where it says Mason's Court with the gateway, because that divides the property to the east, to this side, towards us, to the east and south, where the owners lived, and to the northwest and north where the servants lived in the colder quarters. But that now is a council property divided into 3 apartments. Okay, Brian, further on. On your right hand side we've got our police station and law courts, our small hotels or bed and breakfast accommodation. Stratford has a worldwide reputation for good, reasonably priced accommodations. And this is the sort of area where you'll see most of our bed and breakfast houses. We're going to hang a right at the island ahead. As we do, we shall be entering what today now is Shottery, but it was once called Burial Lane, because it was here that the lime pits were to accommodate all the dead from the plague. We had several epidemics of the plague here in Stratford, with 1/6 of the population dying in the latter one in the 15th century. And they're walking all the way from Stratford out here to Shottery. We'll never know, but those are the facts. Now on the right hand side here, some rather attractive little houses, and they were built by the Flowers family for the employees at their brewery, and they're still affectionately known here as the Pale Ale Houses. The Flowers family were great benefactors over the many years. They gave money, as you heard earlier, for the original theatre and subsidised the building of the existing theatre. Now on either side ahead we've got some mock Tudor houses. These are Tudor looking, but they were built in the 1920s, 1930s. They have a magnificent thatched roofs. One on the left has just been refurbished and reappointed, looking very smart. And on the right there you see a thatched roof has a garage with a thatched roof. And if the garage door is open, I'm told that inside they have a British Leyland Mini with a thatched roof, but I'm not sure how true that is. What is true on your right is Shottery Manor. And this manor house dates from the 15th century, 1417, and is now the girls' grammar school. It also would have had a thatched roof, but you can see it's a property of great importance, because if you look down the entrance you'll see it has a dovecote, a birdhouse. That was a status symbol. So that's the girls' grammar school here in Stratford, and a very successful school indeed. Looking straight ahead as we bear left, you'll see Tavern Lane. That beautiful row of cottages was certainly here when William walked across the fields to visit the 26-year-old Anne Hathaway. Shottery is now part of Stratford-upon-Avon, but in Shakespeare's time this was a separate hamlet, and there is also much evidence of Roman occupation here almost 2,000 years ago. As we come to the centre of the village, what was once the village green is now the pub car park. I suppose that's progress. But as we go round the pub, I want you to look to the right and notice how shrewd and canny these villagers of Shottery are. Because if you look to the right, you'll see that next to the pub, and actually adjoining the pub, here on your right, is Shottery Chapel. So you can go one door for a prayer, and another door for a pint, which is where your prayers are probably all answered, and where the spirits are much more tangible. We're going to hang a left now down to the cottage, Brian, park up in the car park. Well, we're now approaching Anne Hathaway's cottage, and that really is a misnomer because its real name is Hewlands Farm. It's a very large farmhouse. It's 110 feet long by 18 feet wide and has 12 rooms. But it of course grew from a small property that had extensions over the years. And this is where Mrs. William Shakespeare, Anne Hathaway, lived.
اونجا خونه زن شکسپیره. حالا به ما چه نمیدونم، ولی خب دیگه انگلیسا ولشون کنی از توالت خونه شکسپیر هم یه موزه در میاره. Well, our friend from Tunis also here. I like these old houses, so beautiful. Ah, Joe wants another picture.
Oh, plenty of pictures.
Yeah.
Without tired, being
One. I'm taking the film. But they don't. Oh, sorry. This one is taking the photo as another person. Ah. Because another one is taking photo here.
No, before this number you put
ما دوباره برگشتیم و دیدن خانوم آقای شکسپیر خون. چه خبره؟ خوشگلاره واقعا. Until we find a place to eat. I think this is the place to eat. Huh? They have sandwiches here. این خونه شکسپیر اینجا بوده که خرابش کردن. این خونه دامادشه. نش که هنوز هست. حالا برای فیلم نریشن دارم میذارم رو فیلم. این هم خونه های قدیمی قرن 15 و 16 انگلیسه که این شکلی بوده. سرما رو ما خوردیم. این هتل شکسپیره که هر اتاقش به اسم یه نمایشنامه شکسپیره، شماره نداره. مثلا شما برین اتاق حمله، اتاق مکبث. اینجا با من این که قدیمی ترین بارهای انگلیسه. که ما رو هاروارد، کسی که دانشگاه هاروارد رو به نامش کرده. بسیار ساختمان زیباییه. 1596 تاریخ. حتی کسی هم خبری نداریم، نمیدونیم کجا هست که حالا باید بریم فعلا. این خانم چقدر کوچولو بود. واقعی خانمه چرا اینقدر قیافه چیزی داشت؟ با سگه مستحصل بود. ساختمون بانک خیلی بامزه است قیافه‌اش. کجا اینا نشستن؟ کسی میبینه آشنا هستن؟ من نمیبینم بقیه‌شون کجا. شاید اینجا ها؟ این تکیسا یه دونه دستمونه و فیلم خب اینجا هم پارکشونه مثلا که نخواه هست سیگال رو برای ساختمون ها رفیق ما و آره بهتر از اون بره. اردک و خونه و سه حرف Oops, sorry. Ah, Joe is here. Joe! You want to take a picture again? At last we found someone. The whole group are those dispersed. I don't know where are they.
Please take a picture from me.
No, definitely he wants a picture there. But don't push the guy. I mean, just take a picture. Then you should pay, actually, you know.
Okay? No, just
Kill him. You know, he had a small knife there. It could be.
yeah.
Then he's gonna be rewarded by the military government in Burma. Thank you.
Wait, go and get.
Okay. Now the shops here. That's nice. Kebab house. This is a kebab house from the Shakespeare time. They come have doner kebab here. Shakespeare and his family. آره خلاصه یه جایی بود که می‌بودن دونر کباب آقای شکسپیر می‌زدن. Oscar's Deli Coffee. They don't feel cold at all, some of them. That's very naughty. So this is the great invention, the chimney. We are now filming it. That was a great, this is a huge invention. Who changed the history.
Yeah. Turning point.
Turning point.
There.
The white swan. That's nice. Swan Hotel is nice. Okay, what we should do? Shall we go to the market?
Probably.
Yeah. I hope we will not miss the bus.
Yeah.
Where is the passage road? Oh, people pass there. It's a very beautiful hotel. Very nice one. I think we should go back, that's the only way. Ah, that was the famous pub the guy was talking about, the old Hatch Tavern. Shall we have a beer there? Now? Oh. That was given by the Americans to the city. As you could see the eagle of the United States and the lion of the Britain. Both sides of it. It's a gift of an American citizen, George W. Childs of the Philadelphia, go to the town of Shakespeare, in the Jubilee of the Queen Victoria. You're returning from Stratford.
By the Middle East.
Who was the last person? Ah, was Huda. Okay, wow, the last person. This is for the history to show that you were the last person. Okay, what do you have? Definitely, especially ladies, definitely.
Mobile. Yen?
What is your extension? Is he your Mr. Chief? You're the secretary of Mr. actually Joe in charge. Personal assistant. Personal assistant. Who are there?
First was door.
Let's go there.
Door wants to say he's the first one.
Oh, you were the first one. Okay. Okay.
Door, general door.
General's always on time. Military officers on time.
On time.
On time. Then we have the Arab population here. Why do you always separate yourself from the rest of the world? This is the rest of the world. I don't, Mr. Rami. Free Palestine. Dream on. Dream on. Okay. We should do something with the Americans. Then the Palestine gonna be free automatically. You know, that's the case.
Next site will be the next bus.
Okay. I'm sure Shakespeare made a lot of stories for all of you. You're inspired, definitely. We're taking record of everyone?
What? So it's Yan.
Why?
It's Yan.
No, it's
What's
Vin.
your-
Jin. It's Z-H-I-N your name. I know your name. Jin.
It's Jin?
Jin.
Y-I-N.
Not
But
Jin.
it's
Jin.
pronounced Jin.
Jin. Yeah.
What's your extension?
You can go Jim.